Hey guys, I'm back with part 4 for this tutorial on how to build this mansion. Here in this one, we're going to be doing about half of the landscaping around the mansion. So be sure to grab some stone bricks, diorite, andesite, andesite slabs and diorite slabs, stone brick slabs, polished diorite slabs, green terracotta, and lime terracotta. We're going to start by filling in the walkway here leading up to the front door. So I'm going to be using just the diorite for now, so make sure you have the slabs. We're going to go in one block from the edge of our andesite here. You could just add 2 rows of these slabs like that. Now we're going to go up half a block and add another 2 rows. And we just want to do this 7 times. So we have the first section here, then this is section number 2. So that means we have to do it 5 more, so it totals 7. So let me be sure to count how many I have, because I wasn't even counting. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, so it is like that. Just make sure it's up against all of the andesite walls that we have here. Alright, and now we just have to go up another half a block, but we'll be sure to switch to just the full blocks of the diorite. And we're going to go ahead and fill in all of the other space. So we'll just go right here up against all of our andesite. Just follow along all of this. And then we could just start filling it all in. And you don't have to worry about any of the space underneath the actual front porch. We could just go right around that. Just like this. Go ahead, make sure you're just half a block higher than the final layer of the slabs, and fill all of this in. I went ahead and filled it all in, and that's all looking good. Now we want to be sure to grab these stone bricks, and we'll use the andesite. We'll just start off by adding all the extra texture for the full block area first. So I'm just going to go ahead and pretty much just carve out a bunch of random holes. And we'll start by filling it in with these stone bricks first. And then we'll go back and cut out even more holes and then fill it in with the andesite. So there we go, I went through and added all of these stone brick, and like I said, let's now switch to the andesite, delete even more blocks, and fill it in with this. I went ahead and now added all of the andesite. I'm gonna go ahead and maybe patch up some of this. Alright, and you know what? Maybe one more right here. There we go. So now let's go ahead and focus on the slabs. So we're just going to be using the andesite slabs and the stone brick slabs. And we're going to do the same thing that we just did with those full blocks. I'll maybe just go ahead and replace it immediately. We don't have to cut out holes and go back, because this isn't too big of an area. So we could just kind of do a little something like this. So that's good for that first layer. We'll continue doing that for the rest of them. I went through and now added all of the extra texture for this pathway. I could maybe add one more right there. Okay, so we have this pathway leading up to the front door all marked out, so that looks good. And you know what? I actually just realized we still have to add some diorite, the polished diorite slabs on top of all of this. So we'll go ahead and do that just on top of our andesite wall. We'll add all of these slabs. I guess I forgot to do that, I'm not too sure. Or maybe I just wasn't really too worried about it at the time. But there we go, we have that side. We'll go ahead and do the same over here. And there we go. Now we're going to go ahead and start shaping out the other walls, which wraps all the way around the side of the house and to the back. So all of this space filled in here will be with the green and lime terracotta, so it looks like strips of mowed grass. I'm also going to be sure to shape out this area here as well, which is also the terracotta blocks. So what I'm going to do is just mark it out off camera, and then you guys could just follow along with me as I place the blocks. I think that would make it a lot easier. So I'll see you in a second once I have it all marked out. So I went ahead and marked out half of the shape over here at the left side. So now all you have to do is just worry about placing the blocks directly onto the grass. Don't dig it out and put it into the ground like this. This is just for me so that I know exactly where to place all the blocks. And I'm not going to be talking or counting or doing anything while placing this just to make it even easier. So what you could do if you can't quite keep up is maybe set the playback speed so that it's slower than the original. So the video would pretty much be in slow motion. That way you could follow along with no issues. So I'm going to go ahead and start. Make sure you have your full blocks at the andesite. I'm going to start right here up against this wall. So we're in one block. And I'm just going to place the blocks, not talk. And you guys could just follow right along. So far, that is the entire shape we have. One thing to keep in mind, if you ended up doing the entire plot size, these blocks that we just placed should now be right on top of the plot size here. So just keep that in mind. If your blocks are exactly right here, then you are all good. So I'm going to go up above. You know what? First, I'm going to now add an additional layer of andesite blocks directly on top of this. And now I'm going to switch to the polished diorite slabs. I'm going to place it on top of all of these andesite blocks. Then I'm going to go up above, and you'll be able to actually count each individual block. As you can see here, there's like lines in between all of the slabs. So I'll go up above. You can maybe count each one if you find that to be easier. So let me go ahead and just place them all. So I'm going to go all the way up above, looking down at it from, I don't know, it's kind of hard to see from all the way up here. So I went ahead and hid the HUD, so now the block in my hand isn't in the way or anything. So I could get a really close-up shot, and now you guys could see each individual slab, and maybe count it that way if you find this to be easier. So feel free to pause the video at that little spot. But now I'm going to continue on, wrap around towards the back side. So I went ahead and marked out the other half of the shape, wrapping around towards the back side of the house. So I'm going to start here, and once again, I'm just going to do the same thing that I did, so you could just follow right along. And now I'm going to go ahead and add an additional layer on top of that. And now let's add the layer of the polished diorite slabs. So I'm going to go up above again. I'm going to be sure to hide my HUD real quick. So this is the second half of the shape. And from the side, it should be looking something like this. So we have this entire shape marked out. I'm going to head on over here towards the right side. Mark out all of this. So I went ahead and marked out this entire shape over here at the right side. But one quick thing I do want to point out over here at this side. Go towards the back. And where this shape ends, just make sure it's right up against the edge of the house here. So as you can see, it's just right next to where that wall is. So it's not lined up with it, but just one block over. It's pretty much lined up right here. If this is exactly where yours is, then you are all good for this entire side. So let me head back on over here. We're going to be starting in the same spot that we started this one at. So I'm just going to do the same thing again, and be sure to let me know down in the comments if this part here was easy to follow along with. So yeah, just let me know if you were actually able to follow along with it, if it was easy enough. But I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing on this side because I feel like the way I did that is probably one of the best ways I'm going to be able to do it. So I'm going to take my time, and you should be able to follow along pretty good. So I went ahead and marked out this entire shape here at the right side. It should end off right on top of the edge of the plot size here for the house itself. And it should be pretty much just right up against the corner of the house here. So it's lined up with it, and it's going to be right up against it. So what I'm going to do is just add an additional layer of andesite right on top of this. So it is now looking like this so far. Oh, whoops, I guess I accidentally deleted a block here. Let me be sure to replace that. So there we go. It is now looking like this. And now we're going to go ahead and add a layer of the polished diorite slabs on about half of this shape. So we're going to stop it until we are on top of the space of 5 right here. Okay, so I'll go ahead and actually start it here and work it back up towards the front where we started. So there we go. I'll go up above. Let me be sure to hide my HUD, and then you can pause the video if needed. So here you go. I'm looking down at it from the front side. Now what I'm going to do is add some additional layers onto the rest of the shape back here, because this is where the driveway goes up and towards the garage doors. So for the rest of the shape, we'll start here on this space of 4. We're just going to add an additional layer on that. Then for this other space of 4, we're going to add 2 extra layers. And then for the rest of it, we're going to add 3 layers. So it'll just be 1 block higher than this, and then this is 1 block higher than that. And then this is 1 block higher than that. And then once you add all of this, it should now just be right next to the andesite here for the foundation of the house. So be sure to grab your polished diorite slabs, add these on top of the rest of these blocks of andesite. And now we have this entire shape done. So this section all right here is going to be filled in with strips of the lime and green terracotta. And then same for all of this over here at the left side of the house. So there is quite a lot of it. It might be pretty time consuming. So that's what we're going to do next. And I'm thinking after I go ahead and do that, I'll probably just leave it at that here for part 4. Because this is, like I said, pretty time consuming. And I think after we do all of that, it'll be good enough for part 4. So I'm going to start over here more towards the garage doors. I'm going to be maybe about halfway onto this curve right here. So probably like right here. We're going to be on the second block of the andesite. And I'm just going to start shaping out the first layer. So let's see, we have like 3 blocks there. This is pretty much just random. So maybe like 2 like that. Maybe 1 right there. Maybe another 2. So like I said, this is completely random. You guys can shape this out however you like, but I'm still going to show you exactly what I'm going to do. So now I have 1 there, maybe another 2. I'm going to try curving it over towards that wall. So maybe another 3 should be good. Another 4. Maybe 5. Okay. We could probably do 6. And then I'm going to try to maybe bring it in a little bit. So how about another 4? And then it looks like 3. So we're just right there. So all of this here, this entire shape, is going to be the first layer for the mowed grass. Now I'm going to start shaping out the second layer. So I'll look over here at the right. So you can see here we started at the space of 5 for this first layer. We'll maybe look at the space of 4 right next to it. Probably start right around here. Just place 2. We could then maybe just have 1. Then another 2. And then I'm going to start trying to curve it around over to that side. So maybe another 1 right there. And then 2. So like that. Kind of like a little zigzag so far. Maybe another 3. And let's do 4. Probably 5. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gonna go ahead and do another 4. And then a 3. I'm gonna try to kind of curve it around here. So another 2. And then 1. So far, this is what it's looking like. So once again, like I said, this is entirely random. This is literally right off the top of my head. I'm not entirely sure how this is gonna look, but it doesn't really matter. It's just completely random. So now I'm gonna go ahead and just maybe have another 2 right there, and hopefully this works out. So let's see, maybe 3 here, and then we can start curving it around and back in. So 2 like that, and then 1. And then we'll have another 2. And then we'll probably leave it with 3. And then curve it back in. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and have 2 here next to that. And then 1. And yeah, this is looking good. We'll have 2. And then probably 3. Maybe 2 right there. And maybe another 2, just like that. Okay, so now the second shape is just a little something like this. Nothing special, nothing specific, just completely random. Now the final layer is pretty much just going to be the rest of the space here. We don't even have to shape it out, because this is pretty much the shape right here already. So it's just going to be completely filled in. But overall, all we had to really worry about was the first 2 layers at the upper section. So now what I'm going to do is just start the pattern here at the first layer with the green terracotta and lime terracotta. I'll start over here. We're going to be here on the second block of the andesite for this shape, for like the outer shape here. So we'll go right up against our wall. We can maybe start with the lime and just add 2 rows like this. And then we'll switch to the green, have another 2 rows. And you can see we're just right up against all of the andesite. And now we're going to have another 2 layers of lime. And we're going to bring it until we're just right on the edge of our first, like of our upper shape here. So that means the lime is going to be right here. And then we'll have the green just right up against the shape that we have. So just following right along that. So similar to how we're following right along this shape, we're now going to follow along this shape. So I'm going to just go ahead and continue filling the rest of this in for this first layer. And I'll be sure to show you what it should be looking like once I'm done. So I almost went all the way through and did the first layer, just have this little strip right here left. So from up above, it's looking like this. And remember guys, you don't have to have yours exactly like mine. Maybe just put your own twist on it. Maybe you don't even want these rounded off shapes. Maybe you want it more squared off. It's entirely up to you. You could do whatever you want. But this is just what mine is looking like. So now you can see where the next layer is going to be. So what we gotta do is, so far this is all just green terracotta. So we have to line up the lime and green so it all matches and flows together nicely. So I'll go ahead and do that next. You can see right here, we have to replace this with lime. And the green here is all good. We have to replace this with lime. Like that. That green is good. This has to be lime. Okay, so as you can see, we have green right there. This is lime here. So let me go ahead and maybe just do a little something like that. Okay, so I'm going to continue doing that for the rest of this second layer. I think it's all good. Yep, it looks like it's all lined up exactly how it should be. So now I'm going to go ahead and fill in the second layer the same way that I just did the first layer. Oh wait, hang on. Okay, yep, that's good. Alright. I thought that was placed wrong, but nope, we are all good. There's just one little strip right there. Alright, let's continue on. I now have the second layer all filled in. So that looks good. Yeah, it's looking good. So now what we gotta do is just line up the third layer and fill it in the same way we just did this second layer. So I'll see you guys once I have this all done. I now have the third layer all filled in. So it should be just one block below the foundation of the house here. It should be right up against it as well. So now it looks like the house is sitting on top of a hill, so you can't even tell that it's floating. So there we go. We have this entire side all done. That's looking really good. I like it. So now we have the big section. So once again, a pretty time-consuming part. This is definitely the most time-consuming part of the build, is all this landscaping. So let's go ahead and focus on this area next. And like I said earlier, after I have this section done, I'll leave it at that here for part 4. So now for this side, it's pretty much just going to be the exact same thing we did over there. So I'm just going to start with the green terracotta and just shape out the first layer. So I'll look over here at this andesite wall. We're going to be starting on the third block of the andesite, and I think right around here should be good. You guys could just do whatever you want, but I'll still be sure to show exactly what I'm going to be doing. So I'm going to maybe bring it out by around 3 like that, and then probably 4, and then 5. And then we'll probably start bringing it back in a little bit. So another 4. And then a 3. We're going to be wrapping it around the side over here. So let's maybe try 2. Or maybe we'll do another 3. And then 2. And then probably another 2. And then 1. And then we're going to start working it around this side. So we'll bring it over by 2 in that direction. And then a 3. 4. Oh, hang on, that's 3. There we go, that is 4. Okay, so we're kind of wrapping it around the corner here. And I'm not sure if this is out far enough. So what I'm going to do is just make some adjustments. This is exactly how I would have done it at the original build, because I had no idea what I was doing over there. I was just randomly placing it, just like I am now. So we can maybe bring this out by 3. So we have 3 there, 3 there, then 3 there. We'll go ahead and make adjustments to this. So probably 2, and then 2. Or probably, yeah, we'll do 2, and then 1, and then 2. Yeah, there we go. I like that. So then we'll have another 3, and then 4, probably 5. And now I'm going to start wrapping it around this corner and into over there. So I actually just went ahead and did the entire side, but I didn't really like how it looked. So I'm just going to leave off right here. So we have the 5. And now I'm going to go ahead and do 4. And then 3. 2. Then 1. And now we're going to start curving it in towards that side. So we have 2. And then 3. 4. And then this will be 5. And then 6. Okay. And then the rest of it until we meet up with the edge of the house. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and 7. So just right there. Yeah, this is a lot better than what I originally did. I went ahead and actually just deleted this entire corner and redid it. So now that is actually exactly how I want it. That is perfect. So you guys could just pretty much, like I said, do your own thing and kind of just wrap it around here like that. Or you can maybe just square it off. It's all entirely up to you. But now I'm going to go ahead and start shaping out the second layer, which will be wrapping around that and going towards the back as well. So pretty much exactly how this first layer is, just 1 block lower. So now for the second layer over here at the left side, I'm going to try to pretty much match it up to how that one is, how it juts out. So I'm going to go ahead and maybe start it right around here. So this would be on the third layer of the andesite. And I'm just going to maybe bring it out by 3. And then bring it in 2. And 1. And then 3. Or whoops, my bad, 2. And then 3. Like that. And then probably... should we just start bringing it in now? Maybe we could do another 4. And then start bringing it in. So we have 3, then 2, and 1, and then 2 like that, and then 1, and 2. So now it kind of juts out, similar to how that side is, not entirely the same, but it doesn't have to be perfect. I think that's still fine. So now we'll go ahead and bring it over by another 3. And now we're pretty much just following along the upper layer. So we'll do 4. And 5. Or is that too much? Nope, that's good. Actually, it is probably too much. Or is this 6? Oh, that's 6. There we go. So make sure that's 5. And then we'll do 4. 3. 2. And then 1. Alright, this is looking good. We have 2. 3, and 4, and yeah, okay, it's flowing together pretty nicely. So we have 5, 6, is that 6? Yep, Okay, and this is 6 as well. Alright, let me go ahead and make adjustments to that. Okay, so now that is 5, that is 6, and now I'm probably going to start curving it back in. So we have another 5 here. And then, what is this? Okay, that's 5. So then 4, and then 3, 2, and 1. Okay, and now we're curving it in towards that side. So I have 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then maybe I could start kind of bringing it in a little bit. Probably not this soon, so we'll go ahead and do 6. Whoops, hang on. Other side. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we could probably bring it in towards the other side. So we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then the rest of the space, we'll just bring it over until it's lined up with that upper layer. Is that good? No, that's a little weird. Let's just continue bringing it out. So we have 6 here. And then we can maybe do, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, there we go. I think that flows together nicer. So we have the first layer and the second layer marked out. I know this was like all over the place and I'm like talking like crazy, but it's, like I said, it's entirely random. I just still like to show this part just in case. And I think what I'm going to do is adjust this a little bit so that it juts out as much as that one, because this one's kind of more rounded off. This one like has a more sharp adjustment to it. So I think what I'm going to do, we'll have the 3 there. Then we'll bring this out by 4, and then 3, 2, 1. Oh wait, hang on. My bad. No, we have 2, then 1 like that, and then 2, and then we'll do 3. Is that lined up? That one's a little bit further in, but then I'll go ahead and do 2, and then 1, and then kind of like bring it back in a little bit. Then we have 1 here, and then we have 2, and then 1 and 1, and I think that'll be fine, just as it is. We can maybe make some adjustments to this little curve here. So we'll go ahead and bring this in by 3, and then 2, and then 1 and 2. There we go. That is much better. Let me go ahead and actually make that 1, and that 2. Is that good? Yeah, okay. We'll go ahead and leave it like that. So now it kind of matches how that side is. Now I'm going to go ahead and start filling in this entire left side the same way that we did it over here at the right. So I'm going to start with the first layer, and I'm just going to add the lines of the lime and green terracotta. So it's going to be here at this second layer of the andesite for the outer shape. I'll maybe just start with the lime, add 2 rows. Then we'll have 2 rows of the green, 2 rows of the lime, just back and forth. And then you can make adjustments to all this green terracotta and add the lime terracotta anywhere that it needs to be. And same with that final layer up there. So I'll see you guys once I have it all filled in. Once again, it's just the exact same way that we did it at the other side. One thing to pay attention to real quick, since this spot is a little bit different, you can see how I still continue the lime terracotta right through here. So there's like a gap here, but I still continued it so it all flows together nicely. I don't think it was like that. Yeah, it wasn't like that at that side. So it's a little bit different here. But as you can see, I still went ahead and continued it right along. I went through this entire left side and completely filled all of it in. I don't think I misplaced any. I think it is all good. So we have this entire side done, and now that is actually all of the lime and green terracotta we are going to be doing for this build. So don't worry, we don't have any more of this. This is, like I said, the most time-consuming part of the build, so it is now all done. I'm going to go ahead and clear all of these blocks. And there is one more thing I do want to do here in this video, and that is just add a couple bushes on top of all those terracotta blocks. So I'm going to grab the jungle leaves, and then you could grab whichever. I'm going to go ahead and just use the jungle fences as well. So I'm just going to add some bushes on top of all of the terracotta, just to add a little bit more to it. And then after that, we'll leave it at that for part 4. So I'll start over here at the right side. You could just place as many bushes as you want. I'm going to try not to overdo it, so I'm going to have maybe one right here. So I just like to place the leaves randomly until it forms a bush that just kind of looks natural. So something like that is good for the first one. We could just maybe have a jungle fence there, there, and there just to add a little bit more to it. So it looks like maybe branches to the bush. So that first one is done. I'm going to have maybe another one, maybe right on this edge here. So kind of going over it a little bit. And I think that is good. We can maybe bring it over. Okay, there we go. Let's add a few jungle fences. So we have the second bush done there. And I'm going to add maybe another one here and there. So just 2 more for this right side. I forgot we could actually add these jungle fences kind of on top of the bush like that. So I'll maybe do that right there. You know what? That one was actually good. Let's maybe have it right there. There we go. And then over here, we'll just leave that one as it is. So I'm going to go ahead and have just one more bush right around here. I think will be a good spot. And that should be good enough. Just to add a little bit more to all of this space. So I think that's good. We can have a fence there, there, and right there. There we go. And I'm going to actually add one more right here. So we have a total of 5 over here on the right side. So now I'm just going to continue doing a few more bushes over here on this left side. I'm pretty much just going to fast forward through it. And I think that should be good. Just added quite a bit over here on this right side. Or my bad, left side. I don't really want to overdo it. I think that is just enough. That should be good. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and leave it at that here for part 4 for this tutorial on how to build this mansion. If it helped you, be sure to please leave a like, subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys in part 5.